Hello everyone, welcome to our class entitled Reconstructionism and Education. Before we start our lesson, I would like to show you a picture. What do you think about this picture? Yes, right. This is a picture of a great football club. Have you ever think about what makes them always winning the game? Or who is the man behind their success? Some people maybe think that the success is depend on the players. Some of you might also think that is because of the coach. One people of the most important people of the team is the coach. Let's think about it. If you are a coach of a team, what will you do for your team? If I am the coach, I will do my best, give motivation, suggestion, and most importantly, trick that my team can use in order to win the game. Just like the soccer coach who planned all the stuff, our material today will talk about the same thing. It's about Reconstructionism and education. The word Reconstructionism have a similar meaning to rebuild or in other words to rearrange something. Before we go further to the material, I just want to check that you still remember our previous lesson. What is our previous material? If you still remember that material, you can write it in the comment section of this video. After this lesson, you are hope to be able 1. Differentiate concept of historical background of Reconstructionism, philosophy of Reconstructionism and Reconstructionism as a philosophy of education. 2. Analyze Reconstructionism as a philosophy of education. And 3. Associating the value of the Reconstruction philosophy to daily life problem and educational advantage vision related to Reconstructional philosophy. They are two arguments that become the foundation of Reconstructionism. The philosophy of Reconstructionism contains two major premises. One, the social environment requirement contain change. Two, change related to the rebuilding of education and its use in the development of the social environment. Because the same idea and value cannot be used for an age that must be developed. For this reason, ideas need to be had in order to be able to adjust to the times. Many philosophers have described and thought about human life in the future if there is a change in education. If education is used appropriately, it will become an extraordinary force as an instrument of social change and even change the world. Reconstructionism of education is good if the aim is to improve education, but if it is used incorrectly, it can be dangerous weapon of destruction. Adventist education, through perfect faith in Jesus, trying to restore in man the image his creator, maintaining in humanity a rational dedication to God's work in the world. Adventist education is a harmonious development of physical, mental, and spiritual force. Education for eternity and not just word science. Before we come to the main part of our learning today, I will show you a video that you need in order to understand the material. I believe everyone have excellent idea about this topic. Now, let's move on to the historical background of Reconstructionism. Historical background of Reconstructionism. The idea of Reconstructionism basically emerged because of Great Depression as the result of World War II. At the moment, people are thinking about how to live a better life than what they have at the moment. Reconstructionism philosophy is based on socialistic and utopian ideas. There are some philosophers who can be considered the first to propose the idea of Reconstructionism. First, Plato, in preparing his design for future state, outlined a plan where education will be a building material for a better society. Next, Theodor Bremer. Theodor Bremer, often credited with coining Reconstructionism in 1950, asserted that Reconstructionism is a crisis philosophy and therefore suited to today's society which is in the crisis. Next, third, Georgetown. Georgetown urged progressive educators to consider the era's social and economic problems and use the school to help reform society. The other one is John Dewey. In John Dewey perspective, we are doubtless far from realizing the potential of education as a constructive agency of improving society, from realizing that it represents not only development of children and youth, but also of the future society of which they will be the constituent. What do these people idea have in common? They have the same mind of how to change the current situation into a better state. They have their mind on the future and they have the will to make that imagined future a reality. Some people may think that Reconstructionism is the same as Progressivism, which also talk about building the future. However, let's take a quick look at the difference between Reconstructionism and Progressivism. Reconstructionism versus Progressivism. For them, Progressivism was too one side in its interest in the individual. Progressivism overemphasized child-centered education and mainly served the middle and upper classes with its play theories and private school. Reconstructionists advocated greater emphasis on society-centered education that addressed the needs of all social classes. So, we can say that progressivism is only a smaller part of Reconstructionism. Reconstructionism is a philosophy that emphasizes the addressing of social questions and a quest to create a better society and worldwide democracy. Reconstructionist educators focus on a curriculum that highlights social reform as the aim of education. If both things talk about education as the main part of the development, why don't we talk about the role of education in Reconstructionism? Basic principle in education. First, student and teacher must improve society. Second, classroom political neutrality disguised as objectivity and scientific inquiry does not cite the democracy process. Third, teacher and student have a right to take side to stand up for the best reason and inform partialities they can reach as a result of free, meticulous examination and communication of all relevant. Now, what is the role of teacher amidst all of this? First, teacher must measure up to their social responsibilities. Second, teachers are agents of societal change. And third, teacher should strengthen control of the school by and for the goals seeking interest of the majority of mankind. Some common idea out there that often says that educators should not be involved in political and social activity is disputed by the Reconstructionists. For them, as the teacher are the agent of social change, they should be more involved in social as well as political activity so that they will be able to know the current social problem. This way, they will be able to determine what to do with their subject regarding the social phenomenon. and change the world from the classroom. So the student will not only get the knowledge but also able to use it in daily life. However, the teacher alone cannot do the change without the support of the curriculum and the school, of course. Basic principle in curriculum. Curriculum must be transformed in keeping with a new social, economic, and political education. It must incorporate reform strategy because society is always changing and the curriculum has to change. A curriculum based on social issues and service is ideal. Now, what is a good curriculum based on Reconstructionism? As you can see over here on the slide, there are 5 criteria of good curriculum based on Reconstructionism. Number 1, critical examines a society cultural heritage. Number 2, examines controversial issue unabashedly. Number 3, commit to bringing about constructive social change. Number 4, cultivate a future-oriented attitude that considers school reform. And the last, enlist students and teachers to enhance educational opportunity for all children and youth. The aim of this curriculum is to let students interact with social environment where they can see the real world that they are going to face in the future. Aim of education based on the Reconstructionism is that all people around the world will have a mindset that all of us are one unity, also brotherhood, and democracy is all we need in building our future civilization. School indeed should foster this idea through curricular, administrative, and instructional practice. Although school alone cannot be expected to reconstruct the society, they absolutely can be a model for the rest of the society. Method of education. In terms of teaching methodology, Reconstructionism required a teaching method that make the student to be more active whether in classroom or outside the classroom. For example, a political science professor led his students to use the whole semester to support one candidate who are running for student president. This whole act will give more lesson than just sitting and talking about the material in the classroom. Just like one of most popular saying that we always heard, experience is the best teacher. This finally brought us to the idea that the school is not a separate world from the social environment. Then, what is the role of the school in the philosophy of Reconstructionism? School has to be the place where people look forward. All the old custom that felt repeated every time must be left behind. And because school is a part of society, it has to develop along the society. The teacher have to guarantee that in the future, the student will be able to stand on their own feet and able to make the best decision in their life. That is why the lesson in every class have to be about solving real life problems. Now we are moving the next part of the lesson. For this part, I want to ask you to do a few things. First, Find the theory of reconstructive philosopher, and then I want you to discuss with your partner about their understanding about the reconstructionism. After that, I want to ask you to share your idea which already combined with your friends to the whole class. Thank you so much for sharing your idea. This time, let's discuss this question. Can reconstructional education be applied in Adventist education? If yes, what are the things that need to be changed to be better from Adventist school? If no, present your reason. I believe we have good answer. Now, as the last task, I would like to ask you to write your own definition and reflection of educational reconstruction, especially in Adventist education, and send it to the email over here. Thank you so much for your attention and participation along the class. Before we finish the class, let's take a little time to integrate the material to our faith. Reconstructionism of education is good if the aim is to improve education, but if it is used incorrectly, it can be a dangerous weapon of the destruction. For example, it is used for the propaganda and radicalism. Therefore, the reconstruction of education must encompass the whole of knowledge, not only worldly science, but also God's word in order to create a balance in life. Luke 10 verse 27, and he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. Every educational innovation that we design to make life better must be based on the will of God. Proverbs 19 verse 21 says, A man's heart may be full of desire, but the purpose of the Lord is unchanging. We can only plan, but the design of God will be fulfilled. And Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, For I am conscious of my thought about you, say the Lord, thought of peace and not of evil, to give you hope at the end. So, whatever we learn about the reconstruction of education will make us understand and realize the importance of God in our plan. Now, lastly, the conclusion of the lesson is reconstruction literally means the act of reconstruction or the reordering something. The reconstructionism emerged because of the two ideas that say the society needs a constant change, and to do the change education as the best tool also need a constant change. Plato, as a reconstructionist, once mentioned that education is a building material for a better society, which followed by the other big names such as George S. Count and Theodore Bremer, who practically proposed the similar idea. Education as the tool of change should develop along with social development. However, in the Adventist education, we should have more filters for what need to be changed, for we have the Bible as our guideline. As long as the change is not moving opposite the Bible and it is for the better future of the education itself, then it should be done. And that is for our lesson today. I really hope that this material can be a good use to all of us. I'll see you next time.